Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm Dr. Abdul Rehman, your course instructor for the subject Human Physiology, having a course code MLT-111. Today we will discuss the part A of our lecture number 3, that is Respiratory System. Lecture outlines. Today we will discuss the design of respiratory system, that what type of organs and tissue make this system for respiration process. Then we will discuss the respiration, which is not only the act of breathing, that a person can take oxygen and remove carbon dioxide from their body, but it is a system and process by which we can get energy in the form of ATPs to perform body normal activities. During respiration, oxygen oxidizes the organic compounds present within a body and produce three end products, that is ATP, carbon dioxide and water. That's why respiration is one of the most critical process within a body. Then we will discuss the physiology of the respiratory system, that how this system works in coordination to get energy by exchanging gases with the atmosphere. After this, we will discuss the lung pressure, pulmonary volume and pulmonary capacity, that lung is the main organ of the respiratory system and how much pressure it will provide during respiration process, and what is the capacity of the lung system, that is how much air remain within lung system, or in other words you can say entrapped within lung during respiration. At the end we will compare the composition of inspired and expired air. Let's start our today lecture, the design of respiratory system. This is the complete respiratory system that contains different organs, and these organs work in association to perform the respiration process. The principal organ of the respiratory system is lung, which are present in the thoracic region, covered by ribs and tissue of the thoracic cage from the external stimuli and damage. Lung facilitate the exchange of gases with the atmosphere and provides a continuous flow of oxygen within a blood and remove toxic compounds like carbon dioxide, ammonia and other volatile compounds from the body. There are two major portions of the respiratory system, upper respiratory way and lower respiratory way. The upper respiratory way contains nose, nostril, paranasal sinuses, oral cavity, and pharynx that play a role in the breathing, while the lower respiratory system contains trachea, larynx, stem bronchi, bronchioles, and alveolar ducts. During respiration, there is a principal muscle called a diaphragm, which is under the control of central nervous system, provides pumping action to the heart. So as a result, the lung can exchange gases with the atmosphere. So this is the complete design of respiratory system. After this, we will discuss the respiration. Respiration is the normal breathing process by which we can get oxygen and remove carbon dioxide from the body. Or in another word, you can see it is a biochemical process by which it oxidizes the organic compounds like glucose present within a body and produce three major end products, that is ATP, water vapors, and carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide has been evolved to the atmosphere through lungs, while ATP has been used by body for different physiological activities, while water vapors are retained within a body to maintain body normal fluid level. What is the basic mechanism of respiration? In respiration, four different mechanisms are involved. The first one is pulmonary respiration. During pulmonary respiration, there is the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between atmosphere and the lung alveoli. So during this stage, oxygen from the atmosphere enter into the lung alveoli and carbon dioxide from the lung alveoli has been entered into the atmosphere. After this, there is a diffusion phenomena. In diffusion, there is the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between lung alveoli and blood. This is the second step. So oxygen that has present in the lung alveoli has been entered into the blood, while carbon dioxide present in the blood has been entered into the lung alveoli. After diffusion, there is a transport process, and during transportation, the oxygen and carbon dioxide through blood has been transported to and from the cell, while the fourth step in the respiration is regulation of the respiratory organ, and central nervous system play a major role to maintain and monitor the ventilation process and other acts of respiration like lung muscle dilation, ATP production, maintaining proper lung capacity and pulmonary volumes, and also maintain proper lung pressure. So all these regulations are the fourth step of the respiration. What are the basic function of respiration? It supply oxygen to the body and remove carbon dioxide from the blood. By removal of carbon dioxide, it maintains acid-base balance within a body, and at the end of the respiration, water vapors are produced that maintain body normal fluid level, because water is one of the principal element of life, because without water the life cannot exist. So to maintain constant level of the water within a body, respiration also participate their role. And respiration, in addition to the carbon dioxide, it also remove other harmful volatile substances like ammonia and alcohol from the body. The next is physiology of respiration. In respiration physiology, we observe the movement of different organs of the respiratory system, like the principal organ, lung, can be expanded and contracted in two ways: by downward or upward movement of the diaphragm, simply lengthen or shorten the chest cavity, while by elevation or depression of the ribs, increase or decrease the anterior posterior diameter of the chest cavity. So during respiration, diaphragm become contracted and it pulls the lower surface of the lung downward. As a result, the chest cavity become lengthened, so more and more oxygen has been entrapped within the lung portion. While during expiration, diaphragm simply relaxes, lung recoil, chest walls, and abdominal muscles compresses the lung. As a result, the entrapped air has been evolved from the body. So this is the main physiology of the respiratory system. After this, the next is lung pressure, as lung contain different regions and different pressure has been existed in different portion of the lungs, like intrapleural pressure, which is the pressure existence between the lung pleura and the chest wall pleura. And this pleural pressure actually prevent lungs from collapse with the chest wall during respiration process. It is also called as recoil pressure because it provides elastic force to the lungs during contraction. Its normal value is 756 mm Hg, a slight lower than the atmospheric pressure. Another pressure that has been existed within the lung is the intrapulmonary pressure. That is actually the lung pressure, or you can see pressure inside the lung alveoli. This term is intrapulmonary pressure. Or in other words, it has been different during inspiration and expiration. Like during inspiration, intrapulmonary pressure allow air to move into the lung, while during expiration, it forces the entrapped air to move out of the body. Its normal value is equivalent to atmospheric pressure, that is 760 mm Hg. While third type of pressure that has been existed within a lung is the transpulmonary pressure, which is actually the differences between the lung pleural pressure and lung alveolar pressure. This pressure has been used to prevent the collapse of the lung alveoli with the chest wall. Or you can say that it is actually the pressure difference between alveoli and outer surface of the lung, as it is the differences of the alveolar pressure and pleural pressure, so its normal value is 4 mm Hg because alveolar pressure is 760 mm Hg and pleural pressure is 756 mm Hg. So their difference is 4 mm Hg. After lung pressure, the next is pulmonary volume. During respiration, different pulmonary volume and pulmonary capacity ranges are used to understand the basic of the respiration. Among pulmonary volume, the first one is tidal volume. Tidal volume is actually the amount of air that a person can inhale or expel during normal breathing, and its range is 500 ml. The next is inspiratory reserve volume. During exercise, a person can take some extra air into their lung after normal tidal volume. So the extra amount of air that a person can inspire during breathing is called as inspiratory reserve volume, and its normal value is 3000 ml. Beside this, there are other pulmonary volume ranges like expiratory reserve volume. Expiratory reserve volume indicates that after normal tidal expiration, the extra volume of air that has been expelled from the lung is called as expiratory reserve volume, and its normal value is 1100 ml, while residual volume indicates that after forceful expiration, the amount of air that has been still remained in the lung that has been called as residual volume, and its range is 1200 ml. Pulmonary capacities. Pulmonary capacities are actually capacities that has been calculated by combining two or more pulmonary volumes. Among pulmonary capacity, the first one is inspiratory capacity. Inspiratory capacity is the combination of two volumes, that is tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume. It has been calculated by using a formula, that is inspiratory capacity is equal to tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. This is the amount of air a person can take during breath, and its normal range is 3500 ml, because the tidal volume is equal to 500 ml and inspiratory reserve volume is equal to 3000 ml. So by putting their values into the equation, we get a value for inspiratory capacity, that is 3500 ml. Another capacity range is functional residual capacity. Functional residual capacity indicates the expiration process because it is the combination of expiratory reserve volume and residual volume, and normally it has been calculated by using a formula given on the screen, that is functional residual capacity is equal to expiratory reserve volume plus residual volume, and this is the maximum amount of air that has been remaining in the lung at the end of normal expiration. By putting the value of expiratory reserve volume, that is 1100, and residual volume, that is 1200, into the equation, we get the functional residual capacity, that is equal to 2300 ml. Another capacity range is vital capacity. Vital capacity is the combination of three pulmonary volumes: inspiratory reserve volume, tidal volume, and expiratory reserve volume. So it has been calculated by equation. Actually, this shows the maximum amount of air that a person can expel from lungs by first filling the lungs to their maximum extent and then expelling them to their maximum limit. Inspiratory reserve volume is equal to 3000 ml, tidal volume is equal to 500 ml, while expiratory reserve volume is equal to 1100 ml. So by putting the value of these into the equation, we get the vital capacity of our lung system, and that is equivalent to 4600 ml. At the end, there is a total lung capacity. Total lung capacity is actually the combination of vital capacity and residual volume, and it is calculated by an equation, that is total lung capacity is equal to vital capacity plus residual volume. Vital capacity is 4600 ml, while residual volume is 1200 ml. So by putting their values into the equation, we get the total lung capacity, and that is 5800 ml, which describe that maximum volume to which lung can be expanded with greatest possible inspiratory effort. After this, we will compare the composition of inspired and expired air. Normally, air contains four basic elements of the atmospheric air, that is oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapors, and nitrogen. In the inspired air, the concentration of oxygen is 20.71, while in the expired air, its concentration reduced to 14.6%, because during respiration, oxygen has been utilized for the oxidation of complex organic compounds. That's why its concentration has been reduced in the expired air. But the concentration of both carbon dioxide and water vapor are less in the inspired air, but In the expired air, their concentration are high because both of these are the end product of the oxidation of complex compound present in the body. While the concentration of nitrogen is high in the inspired air, that is 78%, but in the expired air it has been reduced to 75.4%. The 2.6% nitrogen has been utilized by the for synthesis of different essential elements like amino acids, vitamins, and other body structure components. This is the end of our today lecture. Thank you so much.